friends, and welcome back to the Artsy Gamer. Today we have a video, yes friends, a video, an Animal Crossing how-to video, the one that I have always said that Artsy is not good at, but we're going to give it a try. And the reason why I wanted to do this video is because I haven't seen it from other content creators that I very much respect, and so perhaps this is just self-explanatory. Perhaps I'm just late to the ball like I typically am when it comes to trends, because your Artsy's late to trends like that. So the purpose of today's video is talking about making fake buildings a lot easier to create. As you know, if you've been part of this channel for a while, and if you are new, welcome to the Artsy Gamer. I have never been good at making fake buildings. In fact, I have actively avoided making town builds and city builds for the longest time because I just couldn't figure it out. And then when I was doing a live stream to finally making these fake buildings for the Dreamscape Town Island, a viewer in the live stream had suggested that I use what this app is referred to as the Room Sketch app, which you get from Happy Home Paradise after achieving a certain number of houses or something. And it completely blew my mind that this could be utilized in a way that helped really visualize the fake buildings that you were going for, testing things out without wasting really much time. And what I thought would be really cool is, one, to give you that suggestion and how to use this app for fake buildings outside and making a fake building on the island as part of a speed build. So that build itself turned into what is now, come on, loading screen, there we go, became this part. And I'm still working on getting this up top situated. I haven't quite figured out what I want to do with that just yet, but I used the rugs for their dimensions specifically to measure out the inclines and the houses so that I could really line things up exactly, because I math terribly. After the live stream, I continued tinkering with it. I added a little bit more. I removed items that I thought weren't working. I added more over here, and it finally started feeling like those fake buildings that we see on Katie on Calicove's videos doing dream address visits. And for those who really do well with city core, town core, whatever core themed islands. And over here, we're still working on this area, but I started thinking, well, I could make cliffs work in my favor by turning them effectively into long side buildings. I don't know how I'm going to be dealing with this situation right here because this is a little awkward, but what I want to do is I want to connect this to my house. The house is going to be a jjimjilbang, which is the Korean word for effectively a spa house or a sauna house. Because it's a town island that has a dream aspect, I liked the idea of having a place for self-care. And since I live in Korea, I thought that would be a great, representation of the culture that I love so much, and, spa days, friends. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up the Room Sketch app, and we're going to determine how to build using the app itself. Okay, so I have cleared the room from the previous build, and we're going to place a rug or a series of rugs that are 5x4, which represents the housing dimensions in Animal Crossing. So let's find a rug. All right, so we have the dimensions for the house situated. And on one side I have, actually we're gonna move this a little bit over here because it's gonna bother me. Let's fix that. I like to be in line, friends. Lawful good and all of that. So on either side of my house, I have a 2x5 capability, including one line in the back. And on the other side, I have a 3x4 because this is where I have some terraforming and some waterscaping that I want to keep. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a speed build in playing around with what I'd like, and then I'm going to replicate it on my island. And yeah, so I'll see you in a bit. All right, hi. So friends, this is kind of the sketch, like it's quite literally the sketch layer for fake buildings. It may not look like much for now, but this really does help put into perspective how things are going to be placed. I'm not loving the gazebo here, but I do think I want to put something either water-oriented or bath-oriented because it's supposed to represent a spa. And I do like the idea of adding something a little more rustic over here, but I'm not sold on it. Like, I'm not loving it. And that means that I know exactly what I need to order from either the Nookazon, like either from Nookazon with trading, from purchasing, from Nook shopping. And all in all, the base for this entire build is going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items. And this is going to be along the walls from the terraforming leading up to the house. Perhaps this was something that everyone knew how to use for the Room Sketch app, but I honestly thought it was inspired. And again, Jen, you are the real MVP because this completely altered every single build that I have since made from last week's live stream. I was able to make a robot factory using the Room Sketch app to lay out how I wanted my museum to look and place both of my robot villager houses that I was planning on using for that area. And the results, friends, were amazing. So if you have Happy Home Paradise, unfortunately you need to have the DLC to utilize this app. It honestly pays for itself. I never thought that I could use the Room Sketch app for this because I didn't even start using it until recently, and specifically for making fake buildings. So if this is new to you, please let me know. And if this is how you use the Room Sketch app, let me know what you've built with fake buildings with this app on your Nook phone. And with that, I'm going to show you the final result of the build by my house. All right, so I have almost perfectly mimicked what I put in the Room Sketch app onto the house proper. And I have to say, it's very bare bones, I admit, but it does really come together a lot faster. And to be honest, it took me significantly less time. I'm not in love with the wide display case color. I think it needs to be the dark brown, but all in all, I'm really liking this. I feel that I was able to make it more cohesive, that it seemed to make a little bit more sense. But with the Room Sketch app photo where I plan to have the, where was it? Not this, not you though. The wooden storage shed. I don't think I have anything that I can put on either side, and I'm already feeling that this needs to change. So at least with the Room Sketch app, it allows you to get the true skeleton of a build, and then you can tinker it with the way that you want. And so what I have here is maybe I'll just use a shoji divider or something, because what I want to do is I want to hide the terraforming back there and maybe add something here. I still am not loving it. Maybe we can put the swinging bench here. Would that work? No. And it's also slightly off kilter, but maybe, wait, where was the, I had something. Anyway, but yeah, this is a good start to really any build. As I said, I am not a genius or a pro when it comes to making fake buildings. I'm still learning how to make them myself, but this completely revolutionized my build for making fake buildings in particular. And to be honest, it was one of the main reasons as to why I restart one of my islands, because I couldn't figure out fake buildings, and why I avoided building on this island for literal weeks, because it felt so daunting. So in the comment section, as I mentioned earlier, please let me know if you've used the Room Sketch app this way to make fake buildings, or to at least do the starting process. And with that, friends, I will catch you on a future video or a live stream. And yeah, that's it. So goodbye.